Dreaming of cracking the UPSC Civil Services examination? Unsure about where to start or how to navigate the challenging path to success? Vision IAS Delhi's GS Foundation Course 2026 is here to provide the right direction, support, and resources to transform your dream into reality. This holistic course is designed to prepare you for every aspect of the UPSC CSE, prelims, mains, and interview. Here's what makes this course a game changer. Complete syllabus coverage from GS prelims to mains, CSAT, ethics, essay, and current affairs. We leave no stone unturned. Top-notch faculty learn from Delhi's most experienced mentors who have guided countless toppers. Personalized mentorship, tailored feedback, and performance assessments to help you constantly improve. Exclusive current affairs preparation. Master the dynamic part of the syllabus with PT 365 and Mains 365 sessions. This course isn't just about preparation, it's about building the confidence and strategy you need to excel. Batches starting for 2026, 2027 and 2028. Karol Bagh, 17th December, 9 a.m. 29th November, 5 p.m. GTB Nagar, 13th December, 6 p.m. 23rd December, 8 a.m. Your journey to UPSC success starts with Vision IAS.
Hello students, welcome to this session on UPSC preparation simplified for the year 2026-27. And in this session that we are going to do right now, we would be focusing more about the geography part of this whole preparation and how geography is related with other aspects of this preparation. All right. So we would start with an assumption that most of you have no background as such in geography, and from that we'll build from scratch. Okay. So when we talk of geography, the things that we need to know when we talk with respect to UPSC civil services preparation, especially for 2026, which is more than a year away from you. So we'll start from more basics, because you still have time to cover those things, which if you have started just maybe a few months before the prelims exam, in that case you might not have that option, but here you will have. So I will keep those things in mind while I speak about this session. So the first thing that we would need to know is, what is geography? First. Second, how it is related with the CSE, right? Then next is, what sources should you follow? And lastly, how you should prepare. Okay, so these are the things that we are going to focus in this session. All right. So first thing first, what is geography? All right. Now I can go on speaking at length about what is geography, but what I would do is, I would use a video, right, of a few minutes to show you what geography is, and then we'll start the discussion. All right. So let us start with this video about what geography is. All right? So, watch this video and I'll just start it for you. Just give me a moment. Right. So, here it comes. All right. Just watch it. And there's no sound in this, so I'll talk. So that's the Big Bang, starting 13.7 billion years before present. And with the Big Bang, we had the formation of the initial things in the universe, which were things like, the nebula, as you can see, the clouds. Nebula is the cloud of gases. And then gradually you had the galaxies coming up with the stars in them, right? Something like this. Okay. So geography basically starts from where it all starts. Okay, from Big Bang, and then we come up to 4.6 billion years before present when our solar system was formed. So that's the sun, that's the earth. Okay, earth and sun, as you can see. And all of this is included in geography. The earlier part was more so included in space, and this is how the oceans, climate, snowfall, vegetation, all of this, you can see these deserts and glaciated regions, phenomena like cyclones, volcanoes, deserts, glaciers, as you can see again. And then human beings came into picture, and we started with agriculture, all right? And gradually we progressed, came up with the Industrial Revolution, methods of transport, methods of production, human life evolved further, right? And we created urban areas, as you can see, and history was created, right? So historical development. And this is where we come to present. So in present, when we talk of agriculture, the geography part, we have agriculture related with it, right? As you can see here, it was one of the first economic activities, major, large-scale, organized thing that we did. So that's, as you can see, agricultural practices being done. Okay, and production from agriculture, that's specifically from the Indian perspective. Okay, so we have geography in the world and we have geography in India, as you can see. And these are the various crops like millets and all, and people who are working in the field. Then even animal production is part of geography, as you can see. So you can see these animal rearing and crop production. Okay, now the next thing is mining. So alongside agriculture, we also do mining, and mining is also part of geography, as you can see. And we have created a lot of mining related activities and infrastructure. Infrastructure are the facilities that we use for this. And from mining, we produce different types of products like metals, etc. And we use them in industries. So manufacturing sector is related. Okay. So mining, related manufacturing, before that agriculture, okay. And this is your whole manufacturing setup. So this is what we call as secondary sector. Agriculture, mining, we call as primary sector. All right, and this is, as you can see, modern industries, manufacturing related, okay. And we have come to present. But all of this has also created some challenges like pollution, as you can see, right? Now, in this, what you find is that these are the settlements where people are settled and urban areas are created. They have their own challenges, they have their own strengths. So we have created beautiful urban areas, but they do have their own challenges. And this is how the population has spread on the earth, creating large urban areas, industrial areas, their strengths, their challenges. Okay, and all of this is included in geography. So the beauty of geography is that it includes everything. The population from the beginning stage till the later stage, and how healthy population can be there. And then later on, we talk of the economic sector where manufacturing is there, services is there, construction is there, transportation is there. All right, all of this is what we say part of agriculture, and that's human population on large scale. So this is how human beings have spread on the earth, coming to the present stage. All right. So a very general kind of basic introduction to what geography is in a very, short video. It was compiled taking various sections from various places, so you did see some, small things here and there, but broadly I hope that brings us to an understanding of what geography is. So if we try to compile what we saw in that video, right, in a short format, what we find is that we can organize this whole of the thing that we saw into, so this whole thing was geography, very simply, starting from the universe till where we are right now as human beings. Okay, and that's what we'll try to put on board in some kind of a synopsis. Now, what is synopsis? Synopsis is trying to put a large amount of content into a format which helps you to recall and understand the whole thing and the structure. Structure means the relation between things. So that's what we'll try to do here, right? So see, we start from Big Bang. That's where geography starts. And from there, it goes to, you can say, galaxies, solar system, or the star systems, right? And in the star systems, one example that we have in one of the galaxies, which is our galaxy, we have solar system. And in the solar system, you have a lot of things, right? Including the planets, the satellites, the asteroids, comets, etc. Right? So that's your solar system. Now, when you talk of planets, this is where we come to the next thing. So our planet is Earth. And this is where we come to our Earth in our understanding of geography. This whole thing, right, is together from Big Bang up to Earth. We can call this as universe studies. We do not focus too much on this in geography, but yes, this is part of geography. That's why you will find them in your basic books of geography. All right. Now, once you come to the Earth, on the Earth, we can broadly divide it into the major non-living things, right, such as the continents and the water bodies, okay, continents and water bodies, and the biggest water body here is oceans. And then we have also some other water bodies which include rivers, lakes, etc., which, we at times we also call them as the large wetlands, rivers, etc. Okay, so that's one part. And then you also have the atmosphere. Atmosphere. Now, on the continents, we further have other major things like mountains, plateaus, plains, etc., and then subparts of it. Okay, so we can say here mountains, as we saw in that video, plateaus, plains, and all of this we have seen in that video. That's why I showed you the video, because that helps you understand. And in atmosphere, we have, winds. We saw that cyclone kind of a thing, cyclones, etc. Right? So a lot of things, all of this. The list is not complete. You can always say, etc. in all of them. So that's the basic. Now, this part of geography we call as the physical geography. Physical geography. So this is physical geography, technically. All right? Then, once we get a sense of what physical geography is, then on the Earth, in this physical geography setup, life has evolved and life has taken, different forms like the microbes, the flora, the fauna, and so on. So this is where the living part of the story comes in the same format. Okay. And we talk of it here on the side. So we'll slightly zoom this up and living part on Earth, which includes the plants and animals. Together, we call this as the biodiversity, the biodiversity of the Earth. Okay, and this biodiversity technically lives on the physical geography part. Okay, so biodiversity, where does it live? This biodiversity technically lives in all of this. Okay, from the atmosphere up to the water bodies, and this is what we call as the environment. The environment. Okay, so the biodiversity lives in an environment which is the surrounding where it survives, and this relation of the environment with the biodiversity is what we call as ecology. Right? So ecology, environment, biodiversity. Now, this is technically part of geography. Okay, ecology, environment, and biodiversity. This whole thing is technically part of geography, as per the, when we talk of it on the larger scale. But in UPSC preparation, we take it separately. Why? Because this is very important. Why? Because this is where we live, right? This is more about taking care of the Earth, because on the Earth, we have these facilities where we can live, and we don't know any other planet as of now where we can live. Okay, so that's why when we talk of from the perspective of organizing things as an administrator's role, we have taken this separately, and UPSC wants you to focus more on the biodiversity, ecology, and environment. Now, when we go beyond this, okay, the next thing is, within the living part, and actually flowing out of these animals is human. And we saw in the video that we just saw, we saw that humans came into picture. In the video, we saw it starting from the agriculture stage, but it was not from the agriculture state. Initially, we were forest dwellers, we were people living in the forest, right? What we call as tribes, all right? So from that stage, we further evolved. And when you talk of human, on the Earth, we generally talk of, from our perspective of the exam, we generally talk of two things. One, the spread of the human, or the social aspect, how human beings have spread on the Earth in different regions. Okay, so how human beings have spread. This is what you call as the population. So how many of us are there, and where all are we staying? So when you talk of where we are staying, we call it as the settlement. Settlement. So population and settlement. These are the two parts. Cities are settlements. How many people in cities? That's the population. In the rural areas, districts are settlements. Villages are settlements. How many people? That's the population. All right? So that's what we call as the social geography. And then there are economic activities that these people do. Okay? Economic activities in which we have different categories of activities. Primary activities we saw in the video, like mining, agriculture, forest dwellers, hunting, gathering, all of this is primary. Okay, so different activities like primary activities. Secondary activities. Secondary activities are where we are manufacturing, as we saw that from the mining and agriculture, food processing industry was there, and manufacturing industry was there. We are manufacturing different things. So that is secondary. And then we have tertiary. Tertiary includes making of the roads, right? And the transport infrastructure that we have, power infrastructure that we have. So energy, power, transport, airways, railways, all of this. This is services. We call it as services sector, which is basically your tertiary, all right? So I should actually be writing here as tertiary sector, all right? So, yeah. So, tertiary sector, which includes the various services that we have, all right? Now, when we see the whole thing now, so this is broadly whole of geography, okay? Where we talk of the physical geography here, the ecology environment part here, and this human geography. This part is what we call as the human geography, okay? So where I have written human, we will write human geography. And for our GS purpose, only this much is human geography. Whereas when you take geography as an optional, obviously there are more things in human geography, which includes political geography and other cultural geography and many other things. But those things we don't have to do for the purpose of the GS, right? Because this session is GS simplified. So we will just try to stick around what we need to focus on. So the first part that we need to know is what is geography. I believe this part we understand, all right? Now the next part of the session is how it is related with the CSE. So to understand how it is related with CSE, the best way is looking at the past questions and looking at the syllabus, all right? So we will look at the questions and the syllabus to analyze how the whole thing is related, or which part they are focusing more on, which are the parts where they are not focusing, and so on, all right? So let us go back and try to see the questions and syllabus, all right? Now, let me just show you the syllabus first, and then we'll come to the question part. And how many questions are asked, etc. So these are some more basic things that we need to ask in this thing, how it is related to CSE. So I'll just show you a small factual detail which is generally available, and then we'll try to get into the further clarification on this, okay? Which is, for example, when you see the data for how many questions are asked in UPSC exam, okay, number of questions asked in your prelims exams and mains exams. So this one shows you the prelims exam data, which is available on many websites. I do not completely agree with this. I'll tell you in a moment why, all right? Don't worry. But just see. So even by conventional standards, geography, you have around 21 questions asked in 23. This year number is around 23, 24 as per all these conventional sources. 2022, there are 18 questions. 2021, there were 11 questions, and so on. That's what they say. This for the prelims out of 100, okay? And as far as the mains goes, in GS paper 1, this is what they say is the proportion of geography, all right? Everyone is aware that in your prelims exam, there are 100 questions, and in your mains exam, you have 4 papers, paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4. Paper 4 is ethics, so most of your conventional GS comes in paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, which is like 750 marks, all right, plus your essay paper. So as per them, this is the, score. So 2023, 100 marks, 2022, 100 marks, 2021, 110 marks, 2020, 100 marks. Out of that first paper, GS paper 1, out of 250, 100 marks is geography, right, which is, as you can see, what proportion, all right? So almost 40%, and at times more than 40%. But is it correct? To me, no. This is an understatement. This is not right. I'll show you how. Okay. So let us go back and see an analysis that I use.
Get on the right track to commence your journey for the UPSC Prelims 2025 with the Fast Track course. An effective strategy will not only lead you to succeed in the prelims, but is also your launch pad to proceed to the mains. Starting from 19th November at 1 p.m., Enroll to transform your journey with coverage of GS Prelims syllabus, regular practice, performance assessment and feedback, dedicated mentorship and guidance. How will the program help you? Result-oriented preparation in GS and current affairs, efficient time and resource management, development of problem-solving skills, motivation, confidence building and enhanced exam readiness.
For making you people understand how the things are. Okay? Now, so this is geography and disaster management related mains PYQs from 2013 to 2024. All right? For the ones who might be thinking what is disaster management, in your GS paper 1, geography is mentioned. GS paper 2 is more so about polity and IR. GS paper 3, you have topics like economy, ecology environment, disaster management, and so on. Now, when I analyze this, and when I'll tell you here, you will find that geography is asked not only in paper 1, but more so also equally in paper 3, all right? Which is the paper where you have economy, because that economic geography part, which we saw, industries, agriculture, all that, plus disaster management, plus ecology environment, all that part is asked in paper 3 also. And that's exactly what we are going to analyze now. So in paper 1, which is directly from geography sections, paper 1, there have been 126 questions which have a mark score of somewhere between 10 to 15, right? From 2013 to 2024, 12 years, 126 questions. This is just in paper 1. I'll show you all the questions, don't worry. And then paper 3 also, where India human geography, which means the economic geography and settlement and population is asked. There also, there are many questions which we'll see. And then essay, which is a paper in itself, there also, there have been many questions, okay? So basically what you find is that geography doesn't come only in GS paper 1, it also comes in GS paper 3 and it comes almost equally, I'll show you. And it also comes in your essay. How? Let us see this. So this is your essay paper. In the last few years, these are the 6 essay topics which have been asked, which are related directly with geography, okay? Which are the topics? 2024, forests precede civilizations and deserts follow it. Forests and deserts, you understand the characteristic of a forest, you understand the characteristic of a desert only when you do geography, all right? So what are the characteristics of the forest which are, you know, compromised when we come to a civilization, and how a civilization leads us to a desert? Deserts are region where population cannot thrive. Forests are region where populations can thrive. That's where we grew as hunters, gatherers, etc. We did not grow in the desert as hunters and gatherers, okay? We started living in the deserts later when we had other resources, okay? Then the next one, forests are the best case studies of economic excellence. That's an economy question for many of you, but to me it's not an economy question precisely. Why? Because until you understand what is the relation between forests, how forests are sustainable, what they want to prove here is that the economic model that we have right now is non-sustainable. We need, if we need economic excellence, we need to make it a sustainable model. And that we need to learn from forest, all right? So the second one, then, and all of them are 125 marks each, okay? Then 2019, South Asian societies, the question was, so until unless you understand what is South Asia, what are the people of South Asia, okay, which are the tribal groups in South Asia, which are the different cultural groups in South Asia, who are the people who have come to this region, what kind of geography they live in, you know, until you understand that, understanding the societies is not easy, because they are talking further, they are relating it woven not around a state, but around plural cultural and plural identities, okay? So this is mix of polity, society, culture, geography, and this is where the topics are overlapping. So there's another thing that you learn here, that in geography and in your GS paper, there are topics which are overlapping. It's not purely economy, it's not purely polity, they are overlapping in, especially in these major questions. Then, see further. Next one, farming has lost its ability to be source of subsistence for majority of farmers in India. As you can see, again geography, water disputes, federal India. Federal India is polity, understanding what is the federal structure. Water dispute is geography. So this is where the polity and geography comes together. Earlier we saw polity and economy coming together. Here we saw polity and society, culture, all this coming together. Here we see this. And when they say civilization, it is geography and history also coming together. Okay, so this is where they overlap. Then, last one, tourism, can this be the next big thing for India? When they say tourism, they're talking of the tertiary sector, where we provide some services, and they just want you to focus on the tertiary sector economy link with regions, because tourism is more about regions. That's where it grows. Further see this. Now, once you go to universe, there are two questions they have asked. One was 2017, the other is 2024. What are asteroids? One part, as you can see. So I have highlighted those words. Just go on looking at the words. You have seen all these words in that 4-minute video. That's why I showed you that video. Okay, so just go on seeing, and you will see all the questions ever asked are somehow shown in that 4-minute video. That's why I showed you that video, to understand how geography is all, almost like a story. So asteroids, part of universe, go on seeing further. Then this is the land related things. In land related aspects of geography, physical geography, they have asked you 18 questions till now. Right, which are they? What is the subcontinent? India, continental rift, that is the continent, islands, fold mountains, mantle plumes, volcanoes, we saw volcano in that, circum-Pacific zone, that's a region, earthquakes, tsunamis, just go on seeing these words, okay? Rocks, landslides, fjords are regions, technically. These are things that you learn as you grow in geography. Landslide is a very important focus area, many questions on landslide. Then they have asked you something on deltas, okay? Then coming to the next part, atmosphere, okay? So one was land, they asked you those many questions there. In climate, they have asked you around 27 questions till now, since 2013, when the new format of the exam came. So 27 questions, about what all? See this, aurora, that's a polar light phenomena, troposphere, that's the region, weather processes, temperature inversion, air mass, sea surface temperature, tropical cyclones. Tropical cyclone is a very favorite subject, as you can see, and we saw that loop of tropical cyclone in that video, remember? Cloudburst, twisters are, there was a movie last year, right? 2020, this year only, 2024 June, by that name. The movie came in June, the question came in 3 months later, okay? Then, El Nino effect, everyone has heard. Hot deserts, desertification, and just go on recalling. You have heard all these words in that 4-minute video, as I said. So, major mountain ranges, weather, cryosphere. Cryosphere is the frozen zone, where you have the Arctic, ice, glaciers. That's again a very important thing. Urban habitats, urban regions, okay. Cities, air pollution, cyclones. They asked you a question about a name. Phylline, this year, for example, we had Fengal, December 2024. So the ones who are following for next year or times to come, that's how they want you to follow. This is the current part, okay? Then go further, cyclone, cloudburst, monsoon everyone knows, droughts, Himalayan glaciers, we saw so many glaciers in that video, okay? Then diversity of natural vegetation, wildlife sanctuaries, rainforest. In that video, we also saw. That's why I'm saying geography is so much related, okay? So it's not about, okay, that video is what you need to do. No, what I'm saying is that geography includes everything that surrounds you, okay? And this is how the questions also have been asked, all right? And then on the oceans, they have asked you various questions about ocean salinity, fishing industry, ocean currents, okay? Then water masses, mangroves, global warming, dead zones, coral reefs, okay? And then these are your water dispute things. So water dispute, freshwater resources, as you can see, cities, urban floods, all right? So these are the questions. And all of these questions, I have underlined the key term so that you understand what are they technically asking. After that, we come to human geography, the second part of the story. Okay, till now we are talking of physical geography. Now, what are the questions they have asked you in human geography? Let us see quickly. So, resources of the ocean, natural resources of Africa, iron and steel industry, oil in the Arctic region, land and water resources, South China Sea, related question, the importance of South China Sea, that's what it means. Then they asked you a question around pulses, because United Nations had declared that year as the year of pulses. That was the year when this question was asked. Then petroleum refineries, mountain ecosystem, how they are related with tourism, then the resources of the Arctic, iron steel industry coming for the second time because this is mentioned in your book. I'll tell you where. Okay. Then fourth industrial revolution, that's the industrial revolution that we are right now in. And then other things like rubber producing industries, the importance of straits and isthmus. What's a strait? What's a isthmus? We'll just see. Okay. Railways, food security, freshwater resources, and this is where the social geography part comes. Okay. So in social geography, they have asked you migration. This was asked this year itself. Migration, demographic winter, all of this is social geography. Till now, the thing that we saw, they were mostly economic geography. This is where the social geography part comes in. Okay, and then we have the India geography related. So in India geography, they are asking almost same set of things. I'll scroll slightly faster so that we can move to the second part. Tea gardens, urban planning, green revolution, smart cities, inland water transport, drought-prone areas, traditional artisan industries, industrial revolution, irrigation system. As you can see, right? So this is what they are asking, and in all these questions. And I've shown you all the numbers also, which year, how many questions. For example, when you see this, India human geography, they have asked you 34 plus 4 questions, all right? In the above one, we have already seen. So that's the list of all the questions that they have asked. And when you see that, you find that how they're all related with the geography thing that we saw and that flow chart that we made, okay? So what is geography and what they have asked? That's mains, okay? Same ways, so when you add up all that number and that graph that I showed you, they would not match. Because almost every year, when you add all this, you find that almost close to 20 questions are being asked in mains in geography from paper 1 and paper 3 and essay. So it's not 100 marks, it's much more than that, all right? Now, the second part, which is the prelims. Now, when you see the prelims things, similarly, I showed you prelims, they say somewhere like what, 20 or so questions asked? That's not the case. See this. See this video, PDF? This is the one that I have made. Now, why do you see only 15, 20, 21 questions shown in most of the analysis that we have is that most of the analysis have to add up all their division to 100. But many of the questions are not purely only geography, only economy, only science and tech. Many of them are mixed questions. Okay, now if a question is mixed, as per the standard analysis, people have to put it into economy or ecology. But that's not how we have to prepare. When we prepare, we need to focus on whether there is something in it which is from the perspective of geography, and we focus there. If we do that, and we are ready. Because until unless you know the foundation, geography is the foundation of all of this. All right. So if you do your foundation properly, then you can build the economy part on it, then you can build the culture part on it, then you can build the ecology and the conservation of ecology and the protection from global warming and climate change. But if you don't have climate, what do you protect? Okay. So this is what it means, that we need to understand, right? Now please see here. I'll just count in front of you only. In 2024, how many questions were there in your, and I'll just count for 2024 and maybe one more for you. So just see, these are all questions asked in 2024. None of them are non-geography questions. Just go on counting, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I could have given you the number, but I want you to see for yourself. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Almost 31 questions are there which are related to geography directly or indirectly. Right? Same ways for 2023, if you count, you will find 1, 2, 3. The number given in that sheet was, if I'm rightly recalling, 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30. So the idea is to tell you that out of 100 questions, somewhere around 25, 30 to be on the conventional side are being asked related to geography directly or indirectly. That's the importance of geography in your prelims and in your mains. Does it end there? The answer is no. It also comes in your interview. In your interview, the moment you will go to your interview, they will ask you about your state. They will ask you about some major challenges in India. For example, what are the challenges? Population, migration, employment, agriculture, industry, all of this is related to geography. They might ask you international relations. Okay, what is happening in Iran right now? Why is Iran and Israel behaving the way they are? Okay, what are the strengths China has? Right? Why is Russia not able to develop to that level? What are the challenges USA is facing? Why are we talking so much about the Red Sea region? Okay, so why countries like Singapore have grown? All of this is geography. Do we get it? So there is a lot of geography in this whole preparation, and that's why UPSC talks about the whole thing. Now, coming back to ticking our sheet one by one. So hopefully we understand this. Now the next, what sources should you follow? The sources, I'll keep it simple for you. Okay. Now, because you people are preparing for 2026 and 2027, you have time with you, right? So I'll add some more things for you at this stage, which I might not have added if you only had like 10 months, all right? But right now I will. So just see what we are adding to this list of the sources.
Navigating the UPSC Civil Services examination journey is more than just academic effort. It requires mental resilience and personal growth. Introducing Antarbodh by Vision IAS, a dedicated program designed to nurture your well-being and personality development, tailored for UPSC aspirants. In this 36 sub-program, spread over 12 weekend sessions, you'll gain insights and strategies too. Manage stress and maintain focus. Boost self-awareness and decision-making. Build resilience and emotional stability. Develop effective communication and leadership skills. Antarbodh provides personalized guidance with our mental health professionals, allowing you to explore your strengths and overcome obstacles in your UPSC journey. Interactive offline sessions include workshops, role plays, and guided activities, ensuring a hands-on approach to mastering key skills. Program start date 18th November, 1 p.m. Duration 36 hours, 12 weekend sessions. Join Antarbodh and equip yourself with the psychological tools to succeed in the UPSC journey.
Yep. Okay. Just one more thing before the sources, we'll just cover, which is the syllabus. Now that you have seen the questions and you've seen everything, now see how almost everything fits in the syllabus that UPSC has given. See it and you will understand. India and world geography, physical, social, and economic. Social is people, population, settlement. Economic is, economic and social together make human for us. Physical geography, you know what it is. So that's your prelim syllabus. In mains, they say salient features of world physical geography. That's your physical geography. Salient feature means continents, oceans, mountain, plateau, plains, cyclones, currents, etc. Then next is, this is human geography. Distribution of resources. We saw where we are doing mining, soil, etc., including South Asia and all. So where all are the resources distributed? Next, factors responsible for location of primary sector, that is mining, agriculture, etc. Secondary sector, that is manufacturing, tertiary sector, right? So now you understand the syllabus. I don't need to explain much, right? That's why I kept it in the end. Next is important physical phenomena such as earthquake, tsunami, volcano, cyclone. We saw all of that, right? So you understand which are the physical phenomena which are important. Okay, and there are many more, obviously, right? Like tornadoes. So they asked tornadoes this year. They have asked cyclone. They have asked cloudburst. They have asked landslides. All of that is physical phenomena. Next is geographical features and their locations. Now, geographical features such as where do we have mountains, where do we have islands, where do we have water bodies, lakes, glaciers, that kind of question. Okay. Then next is changes in critical geographical features, which are critical, the things which make Earth habitable for us. Okay, and that is simply said water. So including water bodies and ice caps, right? And flora and fauna, that is the biodiversity and effects of such changes on them. Okay, so that's again physical geography. That's your mains paper 1 geography syllabus. Apart from that, in paper 3, where they have asked so many more questions, this whole thing, if you see, is primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. Now see it. Major crops, cropping pattern, different types of irrigation, irrigation systems, storage, transport, marketing of agriculture, e-technology in the aid of farmers, issues related to subsidies and minimum support prices that we give to agriculture, public distribution systems, okay, issues of buffer stock, technology missions, animal rearing, food processing industries and related aspect, land reform, infrastructure, which include energy, port, air, roads, airport, railways. So that's your syllabus. And we have seen all of this till now. So I assume you understand the syllabus clearly. Now, the source, okay? So we have seen the question, we have seen the sources. One more thing is disaster management, the syllabus of that, which says conservation, environmental pollution and degradation, environmental impact assessment, etc., and disaster management, all right? So disasters and disaster management because of cyclone, landslide, etc., they are also included in geography, directly or indirectly. So the source, which are the sources for you? We'll go quick. The first book is Fundamental of Physical Geography. But there's a trick with this book now. When you buy this book, there are two versions of this book in the market. One which has chapter 5 as rocks and minerals, the other which has chapter 5 as geomorphic processes. You have to buy the older one which has rocks and minerals as chapter number 5. So your Fundamental of Physical Geography must have this chapter, rocks and minerals, chapter number 5. If it's not the book, then it's a shortened book due to COVID. UPSC doesn't ask that question. They have asked that primary rock question last to last year from that chapter. Whereas since COVID, that chapter is removed from the new NCERT. So please read the Fundamental of Physical Geography, same cover, but should have chapter 5 as rocks and minerals. All right. Then the next one. So this is your class 11th NCERT. Then this is your India Physical Environment, again class 11th NCERT, the other source, right, where you will find Physical Geography of India and World. Then comes Human Geography, Fundamental of Human Geography, class 12th, and India, People and Economy, class 12th. This is Human Geography, World and India. Now, these are the basic books which you must read. And almost every topper, if you hear, they will say, we have to read this. We have read this. But I will also suggest you some more books which you can read right now if you have no background in geography. If you are able to understand this, good enough. If you are not, then you have to read some more, which are the books of NCERT starting from class 6th. Something like this, okay? So this one is your social science, the earth, habitat, class 6th NCERT. Then read our environment, class 7th NCERT. Read resources and development, class 8th NCERT. Contemporary India, class 9th NCERT, and Contemporary India 2, class 10th NCERT. In these books, the geography section, I expect you to read, all right? So maybe, and it won't take much time, maybe all these books you can cover within 20 days. They won't take much time. You can do them very fast, all right? So just read them and then come to your class 11th and 12th, because right now you have time, right? That's what I'm saying. But if you feel, no, I shouldn't, that's okay. You can start directly with your class 11th. And if you need to focus and if you need some clarity on any section, that's where you can refer those class 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books. All right. In addition to this, there's one more book that I would suggest you, which is India Yearbook, published by Government of India, right? So this is the one which is published by Government of India, Publication Division, India Yearbook we call. So by the time you read it, it will be India Yearbook 2026, coming somewhere in February, published by Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Publication Division. Okay, so by that, in that you have sections on population, energy, transport, agriculture, industry. Those are the sections that you have to read, which are there in your India Human Geography. So for that only you need to refer this. Okay, good enough. And then one more very, very important book. Okay, that is called as Certificate Physical and Human Geography. Okay, and the book looks somewhat like, I'll show you the cover of that. That's important because the book is revised now. So I'll see in case I can show you the cover of that book.
Are you struggling to complete your syllabus for the UPSC Prelims and Mains 2025? Is the lack of guidance stopping you from reaching your true potential? Vision IS brings to you a dedicated, personalized mentoring solution to transform your prelims and mains journey. Enroll for the Laksha Mentoring Program 2025 for strategic revision, practice, and targeted interventions. Attain high scores with key skill developments such as concept mastery, problem solving, answer writing, and time management techniques. Embark on your preparation journey with Laksha Integrated Mentoring Program starting from 21st November. This comprehensive program offers unified mentoring for both prelims and mains 2025. Laksha Prelims Mentoring Program 2025. Starting from 29th November, intensive program focusing on prelims 2025 preparation.
Just a moment. Most probably this one will have it. Not this. This is the older version of the same book called as Certificate Physical and Human Geography, but a newer version of this has come, which is having multiple color, not the black one, but multiple color, published in 2023 or 2024. Certificate Physical and Human Geography, written by Goh Chang Leong, G.C. Leong. Okay, so this book also I want you to read, and the latest edition. Why? Because they have revised many things in that book, especially the units, and they have also added some more examples. They have made it more specific to the UPSC Civil Services preparation. Okay, so please get a hold of Certificate Physical and Human Geography, G.C. Leong, the newer version. That's available on Amazon. Even if you click right now and you check, you will have a newer version of this book called Certificate Physical and Human Geography. It's a multicolored kind of a book, white, blue, all those colors you will find. Not the black one. Black is slightly old. Newer than this, but older than the newest. So you have to read the newest one. Okay, the multicolored kind of a thing. All right, then lastly, in addition to this, what else do I expect you to read? One more thing, the atlas. Okay, so for atlas, you can refer to one of these two atlases. One is the Oxford Student Atlas of India, or you can refer the Orient Black Swan Atlas, any of the two. If you feel like buying any other, that's also okay. But these are the two which are, I have found them to be very standard, and they cover most of the things which are there in most of these books that we have suggested. Okay, so that's basically your source. In addition to this, what more? Current affairs. You have to add current affairs of geography from your monthly magazines. Okay, whichever monthly magazine you're referring to, whether it is the Vision material or somewhere else, you can refer and you can pick the current from there. So add up this much and this is good enough. Okay, now how should you prepare? I think that brings us to the last question of this session, which is what sources? Done. Lastly, how you should prepare. So when you say how you should prepare, there are two things that you need to focus on. One, the map part, because I have not talked much about the map part. I'll talk slightly about the map part here, and then ultimately in the end we'll talk of how you should read your book and what you should do next. Okay, you should do your PYQs simultaneously, you should write your answers, but before that there are a few more things which you need to do, which is something like, see here. So first let us talk slightly with respect to the maps. So when you talk of the maps, right, because maps are very important and every year they are asking few good number of questions from world map and India map. You will find at least 3-4 questions from India map and world map, maybe at times more. Okay, so how should you go about it? Is that you should pick up a map, right, the atlas that we talked of, and in that atlas you should first of all identify these things. Okay, what are the things? So I generally give this kind of a sheet in the class. So first of all, you should figure out the continents. So 7 continents, 5 oceans, then the latitudes. There are different latitudes which are important. Which are the 7 latitudes which are important? We can say the first one is the middle one, equator, then 2 more, tropic, then 2 more, the circles that we have, the polar circles, which is Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle, and 2 more, North Pole and South Pole. So these are the 7 latitudes, then 2 longitudes, the 0 degree, which we call as the prime meridian, and the 180 degree, which is broadly, not exactly, broadly the international date line. So you should know these two, and different between physical and political locations. What is the difference? Any man-made location, like a boundary, a country, a lake, you can say road, all right, any dam, these are man-made, okay? Whereas physical are, which are naturally formed, right? So this is the difference between the political and physical locations. Then next is, then when you see all the questions which UPSC has asked, you'll find them to be falling in these categories. Most of the questions are from this group of things. What are they? They are either continents, islands, oceans, one, or on the continents they are mountains, peaks, volcanic peaks, plateaus, plains, deserts, depressions, right? Then different geographical regions, then island, rivers, lakes, other water bodies, right? Then wetlands, peatlands, etc., glaciers, that's what they've asked. Next is ocean related locations. So in oceans, what they have asked? Ocean, seas, capes, bays, gulfs, straits, channels, basin, isthmus, right? That's that isthmus wala question that we talked of. And in human geography, most of the question that they have asked is location. So political locations such as countries, capital, cities, transport, road, port, pipelines, mineral, mining, international regional groups which are there, like the ASEAN, SAARC, etc. You should be knowing. Then regions, cultural regions they have asked many times in many of the prelims questions. Tribes, ethnic groups and the region, which tribe is from which region, those kind of question. They generally come in your, the last part, they generally come in the current affairs. Okay, so you will have news coming of some tribe or from some region, they talk of that. So you should make note, and those are the questions. So this is the set of questions they ask around the map. If you are doing this, and then maybe you can work on one set of maps every day, something like, you know, the way you have these lists. So you can create a 20-20 kind of a list of those things, important locations and work. That's your map thing. Now, how you should prepare your other content. So when you talk of the other content that you have, read the NCERT. For example, let's take your, I'll give you an example how we should proceed, because that will help. So for example, we take the fundamental of physical geography, okay, chapter number 2. Chapter number 1 is introduction to geography, so I will not talk of that. Chapter number 2, where they are talking of the formation of the universe, the solar system, the earth, atmosphere, etc. So when you read that whole chapter, which is 3, 4, 5 pages, you should have a synopsis out of that. So what is the synopsis? First, they give you that universe formation. That's the first part. So this is the synopsis to the second chapter of Fundamental of Physical Geography. That's how you are supposed to work with your content when you read it. And I'm giving you a broad thing. This might have more content. I'm just giving you on a broader scale. So you read the universe, then first they talk of older theories. Older theories. So you should have a page where you're writing which are the older theories they are mentioning. Then they talk of new theories or new scholars who talked of them. This is where they talk of the Big Bang theory and so on, right? Big Bang. So this is the set of theories. One. Second, once they have talked of this, then they come. So these are the theories, all right? And then they start talking of the universe formation. So formation of universe. So one part is the theories, A, B part is the formation. In formation, they follow the Big Bang, talking of singularity. Then they talk of the explosion, then the formation of matter, and your NCERT mentions within 3 minutes. So that's how you write your short note, okay? And I'm making you a short note of your chapter number 2. That's how it goes. All right, so this kind of a thing broadly you should have. Matter, after the matter, it says that we had nebula, that's the gases, and the galaxies. So nebulas form the galaxies, and there are some mistakes also in your NCERT. For example, your NCERT in that second chapter of Fundamental of Physical Geography says that the first stars were made around 6 to 7 billion years before present. That's wrong. The first stars were made within the first billion year of the Big Bang. So in the galaxies or galaxy type of formations, star formation. Okay. So stars, and then it talks of sun being formed, and sun was formed 4.6 billion years before present. It also gives you the size of the galaxy as 80K to 1.5 L light years, right? So that's your synopsis of the chapter up to here. Then once the universe is done, then it talks of the sun, all right? So that's the second part of the synopsis. So solar system. So come to solar system. So in solar system, it says that as per the advanced Laplace nebula theory, we had the formation of sun and the inner planets and the outer planets. The inner are solid, the outer are gaseous. And I'm not trying to teach you, I'm telling you how you should make. This is your synopsis that you have to make when you read that whole chapter. Similar thing you have to do for every chapter, all right? And then it will, come to inner planets, and then Earth. Then the story of Earth starts, and on the Earth, you talk of from 4.6 billion, then it will come to 4.44 billion. That's where the big splat, the collision happened. Okay, and then it talks of atmospheres of the Earth, first, second, right? Then oceans, and in between for the atmosphere formation, there is a word it uses, de-gassing, because of the volcanic eruptions. So this is how you write, right? This is how you make your notes. If you're just reading and you're not making any notes out of it, if you're not able to, then you will not be able to recall. When you make a note like this, you will be able to look at the note and you will know, okay, I remember this, I don't remember this. When you look into a question, you know which part I've forgotten. Okay, so this is why making this kind of a note is very important. If you make your notes properly, then later on, once a mains question comes, let's say they ask you, explain the formation of the Earth. Then you can follow this format and you can follow and write. Right? So then it will be easier for you to write something. Otherwise, it will not happen. So in UPSC preparation, if you are not making your notes properly, then it's useless. Okay? So you must make your notes, you must read these basic sources, and you must continue like this. And you must do your PYQs. That's why I showed you all those PYQs. You now know how many PYQs from which sections have been asked. All right? So this is how you proceed. So that's where I'll end the session. I don't have anything more to say. This is how I've tried to simplify it for you to the extent possible. That's where we end the session. Thank you.